1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Ground Up Podcast. My name is Matt Walton, here with my co-host as always, Matt Huber. How you doing?
Great, man. How are you?
Good. I got him in the middle of taking a bite right there. Got to get his food.
That time of day. I
As
apologize.
most entrepreneurs know, you got to eat while you're doing stuff. All right, you don't get to eat and go out and take a lot of time to eat your lunch, stuff like that. You got to go on the move. Speaking of entrepreneurs, we have two entrepreneurs here with as guests for us today. We're excited to learn more about what they're doing currently. We got San and Nicholas. How you guys doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having us, Matt. And it's great to be here and talk more about our company, AI in industry in general. And we're very, very thankful to have this opportunity and platform to speak with you all.
No, I'm so glad you guys are on here. And Nicholas, I'm going to let you speak in just a second here. I'm excited for you guys to talk about this. It's some conversation we're having a lot lately about AI and things that we're doing in it and other people are doing within AI in the industry right now. So I'm really excited about this. San, you're the CEO of the company.
Yeah.
And then Nicholas, you are the president of the company, right?
Yeah, it's founder president. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, gotcha. Go ahead and give us a little bit of what you guys are currently doing, what the business is about. And then I know you guys have got a lot of partnerships and awesome things going on with internships and other universities and things like that. Please let us know what's going on.
Yeah, so basically we have a lot of partnerships going currently. As you just mentioned, we look at universities where we are sponsoring a lot of AI projects, mini app projects, social media app generator, no code social media app generator projects with a lot of universities across the country. For example, the social media app generator, which is a no code app generator, is basically a project that we designed specifically for University of Colorado Boulder. It's a pretty big school and they have a great data science program. So this particular project is catered for their graduate school for students majoring in data science. And we are also looking at building new partnerships with NYU. In fact, we have proposed a few sponsored projects for their capstone program. And we are also aiming to do the same thing with a couple of more universities. Excuse me. And we were also part of the UC Berkeley Skydeck, which is a platform for startups to come pitch their ideas, hire, recruit students to our companies to work on various other projects. Apart from that, we also were recognized by Pepperdine University as one of the most fundable companies in the country. We were shortlisted from 3,000 startups, which was a great deal and a big achievement for us. Coming September 24th, we are also going to be part of the Demo Day, which is an investor pitch deck forum conducted by California State University in Long Beach. And it's also part of the LB Tech Week. This is so far our partnerships with the universities that we're doing. We basically sponsor them projects which are very unique and specifically catered to those universities. Students get the opportunity to work with us over a span of 15 to 16 weeks for the semester. They learn a lot about LLMs and how can new mini apps can be created, especially with today's times where we have so many options. I mean, most of you might have been seeing Perplexity just launched a comment yesterday for early access to students. And I think it's a great technology. I was actually playing around a little bit yesterday with that to see. So I think with evolving technology and a lot of competition and new mini app idea generation, these projects are definitely helpful for students and also for us as a company to work with students. Sometimes we learn a lot about it. They give us some great ideas to build new mini apps for our AI agents. And I think this is one part of the business that we focus on, promoting more towards students, because we believe that students are actually a huge customer base in terms of using AI. That's like a large chunk, especially academia is one of the most highest consumer in terms of AI. And apart from that, we also aim to work with private companies or institutions who are looking to better their customer experience with the help of AI agents. So there are a few companies that we are actually talking with, and there are certain projects that we're working on for them, specifically catered to them and to their needs. So that is the other part of the business, which is more of a B2B kind of model, where we have both B2C and B2B running around here. So that is all the business we do in a nutshell. And as I mentioned earlier, we have a team in the US and we have a team in the UK as well. We have about around 45, 50 people coming from diverse backgrounds. Not everybody is just not only coders. We have a great marketing team. We have a great team that only works specifically for how we can solidify solidify our relationship with potential investors and things like that. We also have a market analysis team to give us more customer insights, which particular type of mini apps or areas we need to focus on. So a large chunk of them are graduate students with industry experience, and we offer a lot of internship programs throughout the year. And that is a part of the core functioning of how the company works. And I think Nicholas here, the founder president, has got a much cutting edge sense of the technology that we are building. He's the tech guy of the company. So I would now like him to highlight some stuff for the tech part.
Is there anything left? I mean, you just
Hold on,
you
hold
have
on. Before we get there, though, and this will maybe help guide us in a maybe a little bit clearer direction for me. Nick, maybe you can answer this. Who is your ideal customer profile? What does that person look like? 'Cause I heard a lot of things that you guys can do partnerships, custom solutions, building this, getting in front of students. Our students could be our customers, but if we had to say, here's right now today, our ideal customer profile, what is that?
Okay, that's a really good question. So we're targeting small to medium-sized businesses and the startup founders because we're going to have this called social media app generator. So we're going to be the first company in the world to have this social media app builder. We don't even need prompts. Users can just by a few clicks, they can have their own Facebook Market, Tinder, LinkedIn, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So it's interesting because I heard you say that, Sam, about no code app generators and things like that, which I think is awesome. I used one. There's one called Base 44. Have you guys heard of that?
Correct. Yes.
Base
We do see a
44.
lot of YouTube ads on it.
Yeah, so I used that just to play around with it and see what I was like, this is insanely good. Like I've tried to learn coding before and I stopped after about 5 minutes. I was like, this is way too much. And and I know that if you make one little tiny wrong mistake in a long list of code that everything messes up after that. I'm like, I don't have that much attention to detail. So it's gonna I think it changes obviously the game. And Nick, I'm curious to know about you because saying, forgive me if I'm wrong. You sound like the visionary of things. You got the ideas, you got the thing that's coming out of there, and then I think that Nick is the tech guy in the background, right? Is that kind of how it runs? I mean, forgive me if I'm wrong on that.
So we actually believe you're right. I'm more of the business guy, being in B school and handling things. So but the one approach that we have in our company is a decentralized management. So we value everybody to pitch in ideas, and it's not only like, as I said, we have chief AI officer, we have a chief operating officer. They all do their jobs, but we also like to promote a lot of people like interns as well. I meet with them on a regular basis to know more about ideas. Sometimes they are actually spending a lot of times with their peers in their colleges, and they sometimes come up with these solutions for basic problems. So as Nicholas mentioned, small and medium enterprises are definitely part of our business portfolio because these guys have great passion or fire in their belly to do something great, but unfortunately sometimes they don't have access to a lot of resources, and their platform to build something, they need to go on separate platforms. So our main goal and main idea, in fact, this is what I was talking with our marketing team yesterday, to cut down and look at what particular untapped markets we're focusing on, and saying we need to be like a one-stop shop for SMEs where they just come in, everything is taken care of, they know what their business is, and we can provide them with the required tools that can help them enhance their business. But along with that, we do have, as I said, university students, because when you're asking about specific demographics, what age categories we kind of cater to. As we know, AI is a very common and a popular thing somewhere starting from, I would say, ages from 16, 17. It can go all the way to 30s and mid 30s. Around that age bracket is where we've seen people using AI efficiently in terms of giving the right prompts to the agents. And somewhere about that is people use, but the traffic of usage is less.
Sure.
So this is
Well, I
somewhere
want to
we're
ask you a
focusing on.
question real
Yeah.
quick on that because I'm curious to know, especially with you and Nicholas too being the tech side of this, is that you guys generating no code apps and things like that, and you also work with universities. But a lot of people, you go to universities to learn how to code and learn Python and things like that. I think that's going to change. And Nicholas, or you, I'm sure you maybe have some background in coding. I'm sure it sounds like it. You think it's going to change the entire university and how they teach, and if people even need to learn this anymore, or how does that affect that as we move forward?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we want to integrate this experience with even the app maker and our employees, because in the future, of course, we're going to have AI to help us to do all the technical work. So the goal is to improve people's quality of life instead of replacing them. So that's where we're going to start with, to build this no prompt, no code, no backend, no serverless app builder.
So I think of it, Matt, I think of it like this. Calculators were invented how many years ago? I'm older than all of you guys. And when that came out, before my time it came out, so slow down, Matt, before you call me too old. That there was an argument at that time, and I was just listening to a podcast talked about this, an argument at that time that calculators will make people not know how to do math. But no, it made people to be able to have extra tools to be able to do math even better. And I think that AI will be the new version of that. Like in the past, you had to learn algebra to learn how to do all the math. Now you have a calculator can do it for you. And I think that, in my opinion, AI is going to be the tool, the calculator, to help everybody be able to learn how to use coding to their advantage in their day-to-day life. Nick and Sam, you agree with that?
Absolutely. I think I 100% agree with that. In fact, I can give you also an example what goes on in the universities nowadays, especially with a lot of coding classes. Many of the times, professors even advocate students to use AI to rectify any bugs or mistakes in their code, or put prompts and help them with changing whatever is required. Many a time, it is actually happening. A lot of students are using. It's not, as you said, there was a certain point of time when I started engineering around 2019, when there was no AI or anything. People actually they were really proficient with coding. They knew everything. And I still remember there was this one big fat textbook that we were using to learn C++. But now I see like things have changed. The AI is generating codes for them, and majority of them are just using that and tweaking it and things like that. So that is what's happening right now. And in the future, as you said, it's going to change completely. So there's a shift in terms of hiring for software development engineers, which is being observed in the last few years. And the industry is becoming very competitive because they're not only looking for some basic coding right now, but they're looking for more proficient beyond what AI can produce. So I think it's going to change, and I completely agree with you on that fact.
So you guys work as a partnership right now. I like the in tandem. I think me and Matt are both very visionary, and so it's we both have very broad visions and things that we wanted to get done within our company, and then we hire people with us that can help us bring our visions to life and help and fill the gaps that we don't have, or that we have in our business and what we're doing here. You guys work together, as in you're the visionary and you're the tech side of things, which I think is awesome. So now you're hiring people for the job. Where do you see inadequacies of what you guys have, and how do you fill those gaps within the business?
We want to be we want to hire maybe people from different culture, that they have different background, because they have more experiences, more skill set to share with other team members too. So we want to create an environment which is innovative, transparent, and respect. Then we can scale the team based on that.
Okay. And saying you were saying, I think it comes into this, and you guys are understanding who's using AI the most. What you said, you kind of broke down by the age gaps and things like that. When you get to Matt's age, they don't even know what AI is. And so look, the reason why I do this joke is he tries to age me to his age. He always says around the same age as each other. We're not. But so you guys know, so in the universities, you're partnering with those because you're seeing a lot of these kids, I'm sure, that are growing up with AI and know how to use AI as good as anybody. And so you're bringing people in. It sounds like you're bringing those students in, those interns in, and knowing like, hey, we're going to have this conversation with you and learn more from you too as a business owners here, because we understand how you guys use it and what you need. Is that what you're doing?
Absolutely. I think so. So what we do is usually the first step is we assess our needs and requirements for every department, saying who is looking for what particular type of intern or a position. And then the job postings go out. We have 3 rounds of interview, which is usually conducted. And as you rightly said, we prefer university students because they give us a lot of insights regarding what specific agents the current community is using and what we can develop with. And this helps us a lot in terms of building the right mini apps or the right agents. So that way we can cater to a larger audience and promote this as much as possible. So that is one of our main ideas of recruiting students, is because they bring in a lot to our table. So every week we meet twice for tech huddles. And during that tech huddle, what we do is we ask all the tech team members, including the interns, to come up with the 2 to 3 minute presentation with their mini app idea. for the AI agent. So a lot of them bring in so many good ideas, which is like really helpful for a lot. Someone said email subject line generator, and this is a fact because I have seen, including university professors, have a hard time coming up with subject lines for their emails. They want to refine their email text. So small things that they observe on a day-to-day basis that happens in their university, they come up with these ideas, and we give them the full authority and autonomy to develop these AI agents and integrate it with our mini app software. At the end of the day, what we want from our interns or people working with us is at some point of time, if they want to start something on their own, they should be fully equipped with the knowledge of how to run a team and how to run a company. So that is what we are ultimately trying to train them in our organization. So so far I think we've been doing a successful job because a lot of people are very happy with the way we work. And yeah, that's one of our key things in terms of development of technology and hiring.
Let me ask this. So, and just trying to clarify this on my end, it sounds like to me the university partnership has kind of like a multifolded benefit for you and then for the university, right? You guys are offering a partnership there to give their students access to highly skilled, highly trained tools and resources to be able to
Correct.
increase their knowledge and skills. In addition, the school gives you access to potential talent that you might have be interns for you, but also can ultimately be people that you would then hire and bring in. Is there a financial benefit to you to do that university partnership, or is it just an exchange of access of your resources versus their talent? Is it that, or is there a financial, like, do they pay you to be that partner, or are you just exchanging your resources for theirs?
We value partnerships, and in CRM, the longer the relationship is, the more result we can get more result from this partnership. Either the level of impact or the duration of the relationship. So that's that. Once we have this partnership, we can partner with their department, director of the department, for this capstone project. And also once we have this capstone project, we can reach out to their VC department to get their venture capital. So that's the goal for this partnership. And then eventually we can use the same methodology and scale to more universities, more departments. So that's double win. And then
Okay,
now let me
so I'm
pass
gonna repeat it back to you and make sure I understood you correctly. Initially, you're offering a mutually beneficial partnership where there's no financial incentive on either end. Eventually, over the success of the partnership, you become more ingrained into the community, more ingrained into the university, and it gives you access to a variety of other people and a larger network, including VC aspects, which make it to where you're one of the companies who is most fundable because you have your name, business, and future opportunity in front of more people who would be willing to fund a business like yours. It's kind of like a network first, relationship, proof of concept, and then eventually that could be financially, but it's not necessarily the only goal you have, maybe the end goal you have. Understand that
Now, during
correctly?
all this, if you don't mind me asking, now during all this, when the apps you guys are creating, are you guys selling these also? Is it like a platform people can buy into, subscribe into using them? Like, how are you guys bringing the capital back throughout all this?
Sir, could you please clarify for which audience? Those students or?
Students, I mean, maybe the students buy
In
into your app
general.
too. I mean, sure, in general, just like obviously, like
Yeah.
you gotta you sign, you're a business major. Obviously, you know, understand like if you're gonna get
Correct.
money,
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah,
get
yeah,
money back
yeah,
and stuff like that. So
yeah. So yeah, I mean, we already have those mini apps, like a mini app store on our website platform with with a monthly, yearly pricing that we offer, which is open to everybody. And as you said. Our main goal, and as Nicholas also mentioned, our main goal with university is to build long-standing relationships and build credibility with them. So there's no monetary benefit coming from both ends. What we focus here is, for example, if I can take University of Colorado Boulder, we have signed a partnership with them for 1 year, so fall 2025 and spring 2026, and we are working alongside with big corporations like Honda's AI research lab. So we are also able to connect with a lot more other companies during these capstone projects because there are only about 5 or 6 companies that will be working closely with 64 or 70 students throughout the semester. And with this, those companies see what we are doing, and we can also build a potential partnership with them. And with university, we are building credibility, so they know that okay, these guys are doing something solid work, and we would love to have them on board. And as Nicholas mentioned, we are building a relationship with their departments where they can advocate the use of our products and promote it among their students. And at the end, the students are part of the company. And what more better organic marketing you need when it becomes word of mouth? Like they go around saying, "Hey, I work with LexTrack AI. They have so many cool products, and you guys should use it." And coming back to what Nicholas last said, that a lot of these universities have access to great funding opportunities because they are all have incubator programs. They have a lot of investors under their network who are alumni of the universities. So automatically, they kind of will give us a good word of recommendation in the future when we're looking for potential angel investors or VCs that want to partner with us. So this is kind of the framework that we work in for universities. And as you mentioned, we also have product offering on our website. For example, $19.99 a month for a certain app feature that people can have, and then there's a yearly pass on it. So that is also there, which runs as usual, apart from the university partnerships.
It sounds like you have the ability too when you create these relationships and these partnerships, and you build the connections and everything. Maybe these companies can hire you off of projects and bases and things like
Yeah,
that. Sounds like
yeah,
that's something that it's a kind of a longer term play for you guys.
yeah, yeah.
And
Perfect.
Matt and I do a similar thing at probably a very different scale, right? So, like my background, just so you guys know, is I've been building sales organizations for the past 15 years, more in the corporate world, and my biggest passion in doing that is not actually selling. My biggest passion is mentoring, coaching, and developing people. And one of the reasons why I feel like I've been as successful in my sales roles is because I have an opportunity to play a part in developing young salespeople to become future people. And one of the things I'm most proud about in my career is that I have over 10 different people holding executive level roles out there that came to me as an entry level person. And Matt has a very similar passion as well. And when I first started my business, this was before Matt and I decided to work together in the way we do today. It was a sales academy, and all I did was I actually sold teaching and training and teaching people how to sell from a foundational perspective. Now, fast forward 3 years later, in Matt and I's business, we actually just give all of our training to anybody who wants to take it for free. And we actually have over 100 to 150 people apply every single day to come work for our organization. And all that we ask is before we offer you employment, you must take our training program that we used to charge people for. We say, go learn from us, understand what we are, certify with us. We'll give you a certificate of completion that you can use for your own CV and professional background. But we then have the ability to then hire and build that team. And then that is the way that over the past year and a half of Matt and I working together, we've gone from a two-man show to a team of over 80 people, all organically grown from people who originally came in and wanted to learn from us. So it's a very similar structure. And one of the other things Matt and I do, and man, this podcast has been a major help in that, which is just the value of building a network and being willing to do things for people without expecting anything in return. Whether you're training people without expecting a money return, or whether you're working with a company like you guys and say, here's what we do, how can we help you? And not expecting that there's coming anything in return. That is a lesson that in my, as Matt said, super old age, I wish I would have learned younger in business, which is doing what you're doing, not worrying about the sprint, but the real value of business is the marathon, and the value of your ability to scale as a business comes through relationships. So kudos to both of you guys being as young as you are in business, learning money shouldn't lead business. Relationships should lead it. And through those relationships, I think money follows. Any opinion on that, guys?
Terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And we brought the money side just to understand the business, whatever. But the fact that you guys are thinking, all right, how do we build partnerships? How do we build, create relationships? How do we help out these students? And in return, they do help us out. We're not asking for them to pay for it. I mean,
Absolutely.
obviously, if they want to buy our app, or subscribe to our monthly apps, absolutely, we can help you out with that. But we're going to help them create their own businesses and be a part of those and stuff. And I think that's going to work out with you guys insanely good.
I'm glad that even Nicholas is on the same page when it comes to these things, and we both believe collectively that having strong relationship with universities and with companies is very important, because we know that we have some short-term goals, but we also try to emphasize on long-term relationship with some of these companies, because we know that how they value technology and how they value the relationship that we built with them. So I think it's great to see that me and Nicholas are on the same page in a lot of things, and that's why I think we're able to effectively run LexTrack AI. We have been able to scale, and we've been able to get more recognition in the last 5-6 months of the company, and I think because of having this same momentum about building stronger relationship and seeing how we can help. So I personally believe in going and knocking doors of people and trying to see how we can be part of their life, apart from instead of waiting to them to come towards us, because in today's times I believe we need to go to the customers and we need to go to people and say what we're doing. And even as
Metaphorically
metaphorically
knocking doors, not actually knocking.
knocking
Because you said
doors.
knocking doors, Matt's like, oh, you're gonna go
I'll
do some
knock a
sales.
No,
door.
no, no, no. It was just a
Say, I'll
metaphor.
knock
It
a
was
door.
a,
Don't
no,
get it
no, no,
twisted.
no.
Yeah.
It is just a metaphor, because if anything comes by my way, if someone wants, like, I was yesterday too, there was one company that reached out to me saying they're in health and fitness, they're in AI related to health and fitness, and they want to see how they can better their AI agents. I immediately told the team saying, let us look at this. So whatever opportunity comes by our way, we always try to assess and see what best we can do to them, because we never know what particular project that we worked on actually would have helped us. So whatever comes our way, we never say no. I usually don't know. I don't say no. As long as it's something that doesn't fit our company profile, that is the only time I say no. But that happens only after assessing if it is a feasible option for us to work on. But
Yeah, have you guys ever read the book The Go-Giver? Read that book a long time ago. It's one of my
I
favorite
don't think
books.
I will read it. I think
It's
I will
funny, you guys are
definitely read it.
doing that. You're basically doing the premise of the book without actually knowing about the book in general. And the premise is just basically it goes about a guy and he gives everything away for free, and he's kind of mentoring this other guy, and this guy's like, "What's going on? Like, how do you make money? Like, I'm worried about the money. Like, I'm trying to I have to close these deals and stuff like that." But the guy's just giving everything away for free, and he ends up being way more successful because he gave everything away for free, and that just built so many relationships and connections that it worked out. And I read that book a long time ago, and I loved it, and I thought it was a really great book. And then Matt and me have been doing a journey of creating more content and getting more out there and trying to help out more people as possible. And you see from other successes that are going on right now, the people who gave the most away for free sell the most stuff. It doesn't make any sense, right? When you think about that, Matt jokes with me, I talk about him all the time, Alex Hormozy, how much free content has he given out there and how much free stuff has he given out there. Then he goes and launches a book, and it breaks Guinness World Records because he's helped so many
Absolutely.
people out that so many people are now willing to help him out in return. And I think that obviously that's not, I can tell from talking to you guys, it's not your reason why you're helping out these students and you're talking to, because you're expecting something in return. But I know that the path you guys are going down, you'll have that happen.
Let me add this part too. You guys mentioned recently you've gotten a lot of recognition, right? One of the recognitions you said is one of the most fundable businesses, right? That's awesome. There's a great thing to go in and collect recognition, go in and collect education, go in and collect relationships, but eventually all of that collect has to move towards the action, has to move towards the result. So what I would ask guys of you next is, what is the next big step towards the action, where being one of the most fundable to where it is actually fundable, not the potential of being fundable, or when these relationships are going to convert into the success that you guys want to have. And maybe it already has, but I've seen so many people. My wife talks about this. She's from Ethiopia. They have people that are professional students and they just collect degrees and then they never do anything with that degree, right? And so when I hear you guys talk, what I also want to caution you guys is, don't worry about collecting the recognition. Don't worry about collecting the relationships. Don't worry about collecting all these things. if there's not a plan of action behind it? And I'm sure there is. I'd love to hear it.
So we were in that phase where we were trying to revive some of our partnerships, as I said, but the only reason we did that was we wanted to get more traction, more viewership. So and then we decided on a payment structure, payment plan for revenue generation, because we know that when we go to VCs or we go to investors, they'll say, you guys, in general, I'm saying not only for us, whenever you go, and you might be knowing as well, they say, okay, guys, you have a great product, everything. How much revenue are you generating?
Yeah.
They come and zero down to that last question. So right now we are focusing on revenue generation. As I said, we already have payment different options for people to select from, regarding what type of AI agents they want to use for. And as I also said, we are working with a very large corporation from a particular industry who was shown key interest to work with us. Basically, we are going to be helping them make their customer experience much better, because they want to use AI not only to kind of segregate their inventories and company operations, but also want to make it more efficient for their customers when they come on their website to shop, because they have about 100,000 plus product offered. So that is going to be a big deal for us, and we are very happy that we were able to connect with someone senior from the organization, and they've given us the opportunity to work with them. And this is going to be a long-term partnership, and hopefully we're trying to aim to finish our side of the bargain for the business in October. And once we have this, I think automatically we'll be able to cater to a lot of other companies coming from different specs of the same industry. So this is something which is a B2B thing that we are working on, and which is going to be a major revenue generator for us. And we also have a particular aim in terms of revenue that we are trying to achieve by year end, which we already have started working on and which is already in progress. So till now, we were in a phase where we were like, okay, we need people to know what LexTrack AI is. We need everybody to know what the company is. And now we have shifted our gears to saying, okay, we know people already know about the company, and now we need people to pay for using our products. So that is happening successfully, and our B2B partnerships as well. They're completely monetary based partnerships. We are not doing anything for them for just to kind of be recognized or anything, because they already know what we're doing. So we already have got the sense of recognition with them. So that is why they came to us to do business with.
If there's one thing that's stopping you guys from being as successful toward your goals as it is, what's the one thing that could hold you back or is holding you back from accomplishing those 1 year goals you just mentioned you have?
Definitely some of the resources, because we know that if we want to scale the business, we typically we need venture capital or some revenue, but most important is the strategy, because I think for any organization, if we have a really good strategy or the leadership team, they can just use whatever they have, whatever they currently have as the resources to scale in a really strategic way, so that they can transfer risk to the third party, and they can increase stickiness and get more venture capital in that way. So I think strategy is important, and also organizational structure, and to enforce accountability, who is going to responsible for what, and then accountable to ensure project success, and then eventually portfolio success, and then we can move the current state into the future state regarding the organizational goal.
Okay, got it. So I'm going to repeat it back to you. Resources, funding, and leadership. And through that would be the strategy that goes out with that. That would probably be where a little bit of potential fluctuation. So let me ask you this question from a resources perspective. So I assume funding is a thing that funds resources, but let's just say funding wasn't the issue, right? Funding was taken care of. What would be the 1 to 2 things that from a resources perspective you would close the gap from?
Yeah, that's actually a great question because based on my observation, I think processes and lessons learned is the gap. Because we are trying to release this software. We're going to be the first company in the world to release this kind of social media app builder, and this is completely new. And there's no other competitors, no other companies that we can benchmark. So there's no existing processes, tools, and people. So we're going to be the first one going to map all the processes, going to do all the experiments, going to do all the A/B tests, and figure out what is the best IT infrastructure, business architecture for all the processes, our operations, and the technology stack.
San, is that exactly where your head went when I asked that question, or did you take it a different direction?
No, I think what Nick mentioned was, I think, pitch perfect with what I was thinking. But one more thing that I would like to add is because he kind of gave more of the technological gaps that we can fill. And my role as a CEO and managing people, sometimes what happens, people management can also be a problem somewhere because we are not always perfect when we hire people. Sometimes when we have certain team members, the way their resume looks and the way they would have answered in the interview would not be their potential outcome in terms of their functioning with the company. And that is one area that kind of sometimes we have an issue with because we believe to get certain, we want to build a certain momentum in the organization, and we want everybody to kind of work in the same pace. But there are certain lacks when it comes to hiring, especially when we're trying to scale up, when we're trying to hire a lot more people. We do face a certain bit of, I wouldn't say a lot, but just a few times I've noticed is we don't get expected outcomes from candidates as what they promised us during the interviews or what they promised us through their resumes. That is what I'm trying to say in terms of the people management, more of operations of the company. And I completely agree with what Nicholas said. Since we are building a technology that is not present, or we don't have we don't have any competition around us, getting proper customer insights, building based on those resources can be a major crunch for us. But that is what we are hoping to achieve through this, because we want to be trendsetters with that particular product. So these are probably the two gaps that I would say which I see in the company.
Makes total sense. And so, Matt, this is actually going to come towards you because this is kind of your area of expertise, which is, guys, I'll be vulnerable myself. This is a gap within leadership, was not being able and willing to see this gap in myself sooner. And Matt was able to expose this within me, and maybe he can provide some guidance to you as a guy who's been around the block once or twice as well. And I would say that mentorship, to what you said, Nick, is the word I wrote down. And I don't necessarily know if the mentorship is needing to how to run or build your product. But I think probably where the mentorship is needed is how to scale a software company, how to get it ready for VC funding. It sounds like that's kind of what you're wanting to move towards. And Matt shares, like 75% of his podcast, a very specific book that is probably his favorite book that he does. Notice I will never recommend a book because I don't read. He'll recommend books all the time. But Matt, maybe if you want to expound on that, and I'm sure you know the book I'm talking about.
No, I mean, you guys are already doing it in a sense. The book is called Who Not How. It's basically finding people to, have you guys read it before?
No, I'm
Okay, I mean, it's basically finding
He's
people
going
to
to give
fill
you a
your gap.
whole list before we'll send it to you
I'm gonna
after.
take those lists of books actually.
No, it's a good book, and it's basically like, hey, how to short. Now I won't say shortcut because that can have a negative connotation. But instead of you going out and learning everything you need to know, find somebody who can fill that gap for you and put that where it needs to be, right? And so you guys have already done that. I'm listening. It was funny because Matt asked you, saying what your thoughts were on the gaps you guys had, because Nick and Nicholas, you have a completely different mindset than saying on certain things. You thought more on the tech side of things. How do we fill that gap, and where's our gaps at, and what do we need to fix? And you thought on the business side. And I think that's awesome that you guys have each other, because you can align towards the same goal and take care of the things you need to on either side of it. So we were completely expecting you guys to have completely different answers, because you should, because you guys would take care of different things. And so, yes, like Matt's saying, as you grow in this, the VC is going to ask you, like, what's your revenue look like? And you guys obviously have to produce great numbers and say, this is what we're looking at. This is why you should fund us, because your money will be taken care of with all this money we're bringing in. And so, yeah, what I want to say is, if you read that book, take it into heart and think, who can help me get there? Not how can I get there? Who can help me get to that point? And obviously, sales and revenue and generating that type of business, I think would be, if you guys haven't thought about that already, have you, by any chance, have you thought of how you're going to get to that point?
Yeah. So we that has been one of the key things that we've been working for the last month. Is we revamped the whole marketing and the sales team, and me and Nicholas individually sat together and looked at each person that we are trying to work with. And so far, I mean, we've been very happy with the candidates that we have hired, especially with the marketing. I mean, irrespective of the time, they come up with some amazing questions, and they come up with the ideas and frameworks that we can use for scaling up in terms of our sales. And Nicholas and I also mentor them in certain areas and industries where we can focus on. So yeah, we had one team. That's what I said. People management can be hard sometimes. Wrong hires also happen, despite of what we see from their resumes and what they talk to us during interviews.
And that probably
So
makes you like AI even more. Like, when
yeah,
the people are like, all right, I need
yeah.
to replace this person with AI.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I think we've been able to assemble a great team over the last few weeks, and they've been working rigorously. And they're doing continuous market research and say coming up with the pricing strategies for the no-code social media app generator and things like that. So yeah, and the next step is to get this thing out and running, and which hopefully will be done soon.
Perfect.
So the next question I have, and there's not a wrong answer here. I think I know the answer to the question before I ask it. And it's interesting because it's a different train of thought than I've ever had around running business. And Matt and I actually did a podcast with somebody else yesterday, and they're going down, I think, the same path you guys are. Is VC funding the only option for you guys? Or is there ever a world where you guys are able to do it organically without VC funding? I mean, I know VC funding is the common way that software companies and tech companies go, but is it the only way for you guys, or is there a path that doesn't require that?
Really good question. So it's like doing it. We're playing a game. So we need a strategy, and then we need to allow us, like, we have more room to maneuver, to do whatever we want to do. So yeah, we can have this, we can run this, as a parallel strategy, right? If we can make revenue, why not? We just sell the products, and then we get a monthly revenue, recurring revenue, or at some point we have enough annually recurring revenue, we can even skip the pre-seed stage directly to seed. So we can actually, for all the senior executives, we can have more equity, and we can transfer the risk to the third party. Why not, right? So I always tell Sam that we always need to leave us more rooms to maneuver.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I've heard those horror stories, about companies that quickly get their they jump up, quickly get their VC funding, they lose all the equity of their business, they get kicked out of it, of their own entire business, lose it, and obviously mishandle the money too that they get, and a bunch of other things. And it seems like you guys have thought about that and
Yeah.
are kind of putting a plan in place for that, right? So,
Yeah, yeah, and just to add on what Nick said, so it's we can go out and get money from any investor, but me and Nicholas always have a discussion about this, saying if we get money from someone, we need to get it from the right person. We need to get someone who understands our company, who understands our culture. Is not I know VCs mostly look at in a business perspective, they're just trying to double or triple their money from investments, but we are looking for someone who understands what we're building and who wants to stay with us for a longer duration of time, not only just gain what money he has made from it. Is what we always talk about. And that's why sometimes I think we feel we are very picky in terms of what VC we need to apply for, or what angel investor we need to be in touch with, because otherwise it's a really hard thing to do.
Do you believe it's more important for an investor to believe in the product or to believe in you guys?
I personally believe he has to believe in the management or the leadership of the company. Our product is one aspect of it, but I think having trust with what we're building is very important, because that is the key thing in order to run a successful firm. Is because if he has a trust in someone, and if he knows they know what they're doing, I think that gives us more leverage to work freely and more creatively in our workplace.
Now, San, you're the people guy. Nick, you're the product guy. when I asked that question, without influence of what he just said, did your mind also go to that it's more important for them to believe in you, the people, or the product?
I think it depends on the feature of the venture capital, but I think 3 keywords: people, trust, and scalability.
People,
Yes, the people.
trust, and then scalability. Okay.
Yeah, I
good.
mean, look, there's been plenty of times where you see people that are that maybe are good at what they do, but you wouldn't trust in the partnership with them at all. Like you're like, I
Yeah.
would never partner up with them and put my time and money into this person because I never know what they would end up choosing. And so I like what you guys are looking at. You guys are looking at the long-term partners, the ones that want to stay with you, that understand the vision of the long term, not just going to force you guys to sell or to go public immediately as soon as they have the evaluation that they want or something like that. You want somebody who can help grow over a long period of time.
Is it more important for you guys? Let's just give 2 scenarios. And I'm just interested in the psychology because I've just never
Yeah,
thought about building a business to VC. I've never thought about it. I think there's benefits of both. One investor group is we're going to give you money and we're going to leave you alone and we're going to be the silent partners that the money drives your decisions. We'll give you the space to do what you want to do. Alternative, we're going to give the money and bring experience, but we're going to be involved and we're going to be like included in the decision-making process. Which one's more attractive to you?
Well, in a really specific situation, it depends on the equity they're going to take. It depends on the
Let's just
terms.
say that the ideal person, you trust them, they've got credibility to them, like they're ideal scenarios on both categories.
I mean, maybe we can both share our
Yeah.
perspectives for it. So maybe I'll just share. So let's just take a hypothetical situation that in both the VCs that you just just said, they, for example, say they want the same equity share in
Same
both
money,
cases,
same equity.
same
yeah.
money, same equity, and everything. In that situation, what I would do is probably go with someone who can actually bring some experience with us. Because I think that is also one aspect of why we reach to VC, is because if they have experience and if they have a team that can help us scale even larger, why not? I mean, why don't it will be great to use their resource as well, just apart from you using our resource, and also it can help us have that learning curve, seeing what we can do better. And I think once we are able to achieve what they have been able to provide us with, we can probably in the future say, hey, you know what, you guys helped us till now, and I think we're all set, and we can manage this particular part of what you were giving us in terms of experience by our own, and probably we can run it by ourselves in the future. So I think it's important at that beginning stage to kind of have some sort of experience or some resource from their end as well,
That
because
mentor thing we were talking about, right?
but yeah, mentorship, absolutely. I mean, as we all have seen in Shark Tank, many of the people who come to Shark Tank, apart from the money, what they come for, these guys are for experience, for mentorship, and to get access to their network and connections. So I believe in that same philosophy as well.
Who
when
would
it
be
comes
the
to
shark
this.
you would partner with?
I think if it's up to me, probably I would go to Mark Cuban, because I feel like this guy knows AI and he knows the importance of AI. And I've followed his career graph closely. I mean, while in college, he saw the internet wave and he saw how it can benefit people, and self-made man, self-made billionaire. And I think he's got a great mindset, and it's important that he knows what the technology we are building in. So I think if it was up to me, probably I would go with Mark Cuban, and he's helped scale a lot of big companies. And Nicholas, do you want to answer the question with what
Yeah.
your thoughts are for this?
Of course, welcome to the dark side. So I don't care about their management methodology. So for any organization, my goal is profit. So first of all, I'm going to use, I will use all the metrics. So I will calculate how much they invested for their total portfolio and the industries, the company, mission and vision. But the most important here, the metrics I'm going to get is the total value of all the portfolio they invested. And then the second metric is that I'm going to figure out what type of stakeholders ultimate beneficiary people, like whether they are people from the government or from any kind of industries, because I want to create this opportunity that I can network with them. For example, I want to network people from CIA, FBI, and from the White House. So that's how we evaluate different venture capitals if there's multiple options in front of us.
Yeah. I think he kind of said the same thing, but we both believe that when we get the money from a VC is how far we have access to their network and how far they're able to give us opportunity to do business with them. And I think that is the thing in a nutshell when you said they're ready to give their resource and experience. So I think this is what we expect in terms of resource and experience is how far they help us open up with their own portfolios or companies that we can work closely with.
Okay. Matt, what would you have answered to that? I think I know the answer to that question, but if you and I were positioning our business to be potentially invested by VC money, would you choose just the money and let us run our own thing and do our own thing, or would you choose the person who wants to be involved?
It's funny you brought up Shark Tank because before I had kids and I could actually watch my own TV, Shark Tank was probably my favorite show that I watched. And so it's funny because a lot of people would come on there and they would choose more of the mentorship or whoever had experience in that industry over somebody else, even if the money was better. And Mark Cuban was somebody who always picked up technology and everything like that. It was something that everyone kind of gravitated towards with him. And if it came to us in that making that decision, it would obviously depend on who it is. And if they can provide us mentorship and value, I would 100% take that because I feel like that would be a place for us to not only grow internally, like you said, Sanders, where we can learn it from them and grow from that and then eventually take it over because we've learned from them instead of having to figure out everything ourselves, which is something that I think that it benefits and helps you move a lot faster. I'm guessing you'd probably pick sort of the same thing, Matt. You probably have a little bit of a pushback on doing everything yourself still.
No, I would 100% choose the person if they had a team or a group that could bring value in places we did not have value. Now, if I felt like they were going to step on my strengths, then I would probably be less resistant, or I'd be more resistant to that. If I felt like they were going to cover our gaps, then I'd be way more on board with that. I would choose Mr. Wonderful in Shark Tank to probably.
God, that's a
I
lot.
don't know why, but I
I'm-
expected that answer. I don't know why. I was like,
I would
probably
choose
Mr.
him.
Oh yeah, no, you guys would not get along. You guys would yell at each other constantly.
No, I just think he's the shrewdest negotiator. I think he's the one who thinks the most outside of the box. I think he has, but I agree in your assessment, San, the technology brain of Mark Cuban and what he originally built to become the billionaire that he is makes total sense in the world. If I remove and strip their background and their benefits, Mr. Wonderful would be the person for me. But look, guys, we're at the end of our hour and we want to be as respectful to your time and calendar as possible. So we'll obviously link in all of the information to get in touch with you if people want to work with you or get to know with you or connect with you. What final words might you have, guys?
I mean, first of all, thank you so much for having us on the show. And I think it was great to come on a platform like this, talk with like both of you and express our thoughts on AI about the current the startup ecosystem. It was very productive talk session for us. And also it's great me and Nicholas usually this is the first talk show that we both podcast that we both have come on, and I think it was great to share both of our ideas, and it was also great to learn your perspectives about the industry, your perspectives about the management and things like that. It's a tough world. There's everyday competition that's coming in, but you need to find a unique thing in ourselves, and I'm lucky enough I'm working with alongside Nicholas on this company who shares a lot of things in common, and we only have one goal and one ultimate dream to take LexTrack AI to the next leaps possible and build a solid team. So yeah, thank you very much once again. And Nicholas, on to you.
Yeah. I think Matt Wuber and Matt Walton, they are brilliant businessmen and a fantastic communicator.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Communicators, yes.
Yeah, look, I'm glad this is the first one you guys are on here. You guys are great. I hope that in 5 years or so, we can have you back on and we're a completely different situation and a lot better situation. I hope that would be
there'll be CV in our next company at that time.
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely.
But thank you guys so much. We're going to link all of your social medias, or your websites and everything on our platform too as well.
Definitely.
Guys, if you got anything out of this, like I did, and I know Matt did also, please like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the bell
Definitely.
icon. We drop we drop podcasts every Friday at 9 o'clock. Let us know how you reach out to Nicholas and Sam. I'm sure, I mean, they're helping so many people out right now. I'm sure they'd love to hear your ideas and help you grow your business as well as they grow theirs. Thank you guys for listening. Appreciate it.
1, 2, 3.